Hello and welcome to Turner Sensei's Pre-Algebra video lectures. Today we are going to be talking about applications of linear equations, particularly predicting with them. So you're probably wondering by this point, what will I actually use linear equations for? Why am I learning them? Why are they useful? And today we're going to dig in and answer that. And we're going to look at just one of the many ways that linear equations can be used out in the real world. So, for our example, which we're going to dig deep into today and look at in more depth, we are working with money. So I'm going to switch over to the green marker of dollar bills, and we are going to look at this problem. So we start off with $27 in savings. This is something we start with, and in previous lessons we talked about a start value, but I want us to think about that in terms of a y-intercept now. So this is the y-intercept, which I'm abbreviating int, which equals b in our equation. So we start off with $27 in savings. So we have a framework of an equation right here. We have y equals something x plus 27. Let's take a look at the next line. Your weekly allowance is $15. Now, students, if you don't get a weekly allowance, or if you get a weekly allowance that's less than this, don't go to your parent saying, Turner Sensei told me I should be getting $15 a week. This is an example. And that's just to make sure that I don't wind up with any parents who tell me that their kids demanded a raise. We don't want that. Alright, that tangent aside, if you save all of your allowance of $15 each week, how long will it take you to afford a $90 MP3 player? So, we notice that each week we're going to be adding $15 to our savings account. So this is going to be our rate of change, or our slope. So remember, in our y equals mx plus b equation, this m represents the slope. So each week we're adding $15 to find what we get there. So let's take a look at this. We have two ways we can go about doing this. One way is to predict with tables, and the other way is to solve this equation. So we're going to take a look at both ways here, and then come back for a conclusion. Alright, we're looking at one way of solving this problem. Remember, we have our equation, and we have a target amount of money we want to get to. One way to do this is to simply build a table. So at the start, we're going to have, at week 0, $27 in savings. And each week, we're going to add 15 to that. So as we go along here, we're going to find, if I can add up correctly, so we've spent 4 weeks saving, and we go, okay, 0, 27, $42 next week, 57, 72, 87. We're not quite there yet. So it's going to take us 5 full weeks to save up for this $90 MP3 player. So if we look, we don't have enough at week 4, but we do at week 5. So looking at this solution, it would seem to tell us that we are going to need to spend 5 weeks saving. So it would take 5 weeks. And there's our answer. Let's take a look at a second way to approach this problem. So we have the same equation that we started with before, and the same goal. We want to get $90. We're going to have to take a look at what do these variables really mean. So x is tied in with our allowance. X is the number of weeks that we're saving. Y is the amount of money that we'll have. So what we're going to do to solve this equation is we're going to take this $90 our goal, and set y equal to that. We're going to wind up with an equation that we can solve. We're going to practice some of our skills that we used earlier this year and last year to find how many weeks it will take to save up for this. So we're going to write this as 90 equals 15x plus 27. Next, we're going to subtract 27 from both sides. Remember, at this point, our goal is to get the x, this variable, by itself, so we can solve for it. So we have to subtract 27 from both sides. So we have here 63 equals 15x. Our last step is going to be to divide both sides of this equation by 15. So we have an answer that x is 63 over 15. Does that really tell us what's going on, though? Unfortunately not. So let's rewrite this a little bit. I'm going to clean this up, simplify it, and rewrite it as a mixed number. So if we look, both the top and the bottom are divisible by 3. So we're going to divide the numerator by 3, and we're going to divide the denominator by 3. So if we divide this out, it's going to be 21 over 5 equals x. Now if we look, how many times does 5 go into 20? 5 goes into 20 4 times, but it doesn't go in evenly. So we're going to have 4, and we're going to have a remainder of 1. So this is going to be 4 and 1/5. So now that we look, we say, aha! X is 4 and 1/5. It's going to take us 4 and 1/5 weeks. Wait a second. How often did we get the allowance? That's right. We got the allowance once a week. So we're not getting a steady stream of money all week. We get it at the beginning of the week and not anywhere else. So just like when we were looking at our table, 4 weeks isn't quite enough. So we need to go up to the next week. So it's going to take 5 weeks. And this gives us a very reassuring check of our answer. We found the same answer twice by doing 2 separate methods to solve this problem. That suggests that this method and our answer in both of the methods were correct. So, to conclude, we have a 5-step problem-solving strategy. First, we start off by coming up with a variable for each number. We find out what each variable represents in terms of our real-world situation. Second, we write an equation linking all of the things we know, all of our knowns, and all of our unknowns, the things that we don't know yet. The third thing we do is we solve that equation. So we want to be able to find what x equals or what y equals. The fourth step comes up because the solution to the equation isn't always the same thing as the solution to the problem. So we need to find out how to solve the problem. Our fifth step is to check our solution. In today's lesson, we did that by going about the problem a different way. Oftentimes, you don't need to go that far. You simply need to take your solution and run it back through your original equation. Make sure that it fits and that all of your steps and setup make sense. Students, please remember to fill out your notes and have those ready to be checked off in our next class session. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments section below or email me directly. Parents, teachers, and administrators, if you're looking to use these videos, there is curriculum alignment information below as well as links to additional resources. Thank you for watching.